Hi, I'm Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist and creator of the DVRT Ultimate Sandbag Training System, Josh Henkin. I wanted to take a few minutes to address probably the most important question in our whole system and training model, which is, which size of Ultimate Sandbag should I get? That should sound like a relatively easy question because most other implements function off load only. But what makes the Ultimate Sandbag really unique and the instability that it can provide is based upon not only the load that it has, but also the different sizes, the actual dimension of the Ultimate Sandbags. And unlike any other strength training tool, that dimension actually impacts how we use the different sizes. So how I would use my burly or very large Ultimate Sandbag is going to be quite different than I would my core or our smallest Ultimate Sandbag. So without making it too confusing, there's a point and an intent with each size of Ultimate Sandbag. Sure, there's crossover in how you can use them for certain drills, but as you'll see as I go through them, there really is different purpose and meaning behind the different sizes of Ultimate Sandbag. So it's not quite as simple as get a 10-pound Ultimate Sandbag or get a 50-pound Ultimate Sandbag. It really has to do with what you're trying to accomplish. The great thing though is that you never outgrow your Ultimate Sandbags. To this day, I will still use our core Ultimate Sandbag. So the cool part is that your investment keeps paying off during the long run of your training. You just use it in more sophisticated and thoughtful ways. So what I'll be covering is a couple of things to consider with each size of Ultimate Sandbag. Now before I go too far, I do want to go over some basics, which is that you'll see each size has a different color. Now the reason we did that, for one, was to make it very easy to identify the size of Ultimate Sandbag that you're using. Our core, our power, our force, our strength, or burly. Now why don't we just say our small, medium, large? Well, because they're not really descriptive of what the bags are meant to do. Also, we can't say just a 40-pound Ultimate Sandbag because you know that each Ultimate Sandbag can be arranged to a weight that's appropriate for you. Now what we've done is, since 2004, we've gone through and used the different sizes with lots of different people. So what we're going to do is take some of the guesswork out for you. That even if we have a different size of Ultimate Sandbag, there's a different loading capacity that we recommend depending upon if you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So again, we want to try to take some of the guesswork out for you, because how heavy should you make your Ultimate Sandbag? If my strength bag can go from 40 to 70 pounds or 80 pounds, which one do I choose? So you'll see below that there are some recommendations for each size Ultimate Sandbag, and we'll put that in as I go through each size as well. But keep that consideration as you're building up your Ultimate Sandbag. Now what you'll find too, one of the reasons that we use the colors was because we have this heavy duty vinyl upon each Ultimate Sandbag. That means that you are not using a fabric that either absorbs sweat or expands over time, wears out, and so forth. This is a material, it's not a fabric, that's 30% stronger than Cordura, which a lot of people like to throw out the word Cordura, which is just a type of canvas. It's non-abrasive to your skin and very easy to clean by just wiping down. So you have the durability and you have the cleanliness, along with knowing you're not going to rip up your hands as you physically grab onto the Ultimate Sandbag. You'll also see the handles are placed in very strategic areas of the bags. You'll see they're a little different for the smaller ones than they are for the larger ones. I'll go over those in detail. However, they're not just thrown on there randomly. We biomechanically design the bags to fit the average person when they're doing a lot of the lifts that are part of our system, so that when you space out your arms, you're in proper lifting posture and mechanics. If the handles are too narrow, which often a lot of the knockoffs are, they're going to alter your mechanics negatively. If the handles are too long, they're going to throw off the mechanics of the exercise in a negative manner as well. So the fact that we originated this back in 2004 means that we have deliberate intent with every aspect of your Ultimate Sandbag. So as I go through the different sizes, you will see that you can actually achieve way more than most people even consider. This is not a poor man's barbell. In fact, it's something completely different. That's why we have our dynamic variable resistance training system to help guide you through how we use the Ultimate Sandbag to create smarter functional fitness programs. So before I get into that, the last point, so we have the different sizes, we have our external shell, and then every Ultimate Sandbag comes with a filler bag. There are two different sizes. We have our large and our small filler bags. So the small filler bags will go in your core and your power bags, while the large ones will go for the strength, force, and burly. Why don't we give you guys 5-pound weights? Because we found right off the bat early on that if you put basically small 5-pound bricks into these shells, a couple negative things happen. One, it takes out the fluidity of the internal weight. You want the weight to have some internal shifting. Well, if you have a bunch of blocks, that doesn't occur. Secondarily, if you have blocks, basically as you're lifting, they just flop back and forth without really any purpose or intent. So we designed the fillers to run the length of the shells to give you that mobility of the internal shifting weight, but also to make your weight more progressive over time. So you're not going to change your weight workout or within the workout, but probably over time from workout to workout. Meaning that if you want to make your 40-pound sandbag heavier over time, you can make it 50 and 60. You're probably not going to do that during your actual lifting session. It's not practical, and it's not optimizing the equipment, as you'll see from the different resources we provide you. You'll also see there's a common mistake that people make. You always want to fill the bags no more than about halfway. The smaller bags can go about 2/3 of the way. Many people, when the Ultimate Sandbag filler bags are open, they think this is the top of the filler bag. It is not. This is the top of the filler bag. So you always want to have it less than that so you allow shifting and moving of the weight. Now, each size of Ultimate Sandbag comes with a certain number of fillers. For example, our strength bag here, the blue one, comes with 2 large fillers. So if I want a weight of 40 pounds, I want to fill 2 of my large fillers to 20 pounds, not 1 to 40 pounds. Because again, you would get that brick-like floppy feel that is uncomfortable and unproductive to your training. So nothing is done accidentally with the design of the Ultimate Sandbags that you see before me. Everything has specific intent and purpose. So without much ado, let me go over the different sizes, the loading recommendations, and how you want to consider each one a little bit different.